All right, guys, so it's happened again here. Take a look at this. A train carrying ethanol derails and catches fire here in Minnesota this time. And this is now released here into the atmosphere and into the ground, into the maybe water supply here in Minnesota. And again, we kind of have to wonder, is this another East Palestine episode? How many times, you look at this, literally right here next to the road, how many times are we going to let this happen? It, I'm just flabbergasted here. And remember here that this is, how many times has this happened here? Remember, we have about 1,000 of these per year, these train derailments, train crashes, whatever you want to call them. And they just haven't got enough media attention before the East Palestine one. When is enough enough? I mean, are we just going to keep letting this happen until city after city, town after town gets their water, gets their air contaminated? Remember, this stuff goes into the air and then floats over and just gets millions of people contaminated, their water, their soil, their air, and goes into the water stream. And oh well, it's just our water, just our air, just our drinking supply. No big deal. We'll just let these train companies just keep doing whatever they do, right? Meanwhile, we have senators have unveiled a new rail safety bill in the wake of the toxic Ohio derailment. Democratic Senators John Fetterman and Bob Casey of Pennsylvania and Sherrod Brown from Ohio introduced a new rail safety bill. But can we get cooperation in Congress to pass this? Or do we think that we don't need rail safety? We just need to keep letting this happen? Or, I mean, you let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but this is absolutely absurd, right? 3 senators introduced new legislation here on Thursday in a bid to address long-standing rail safety concerns. The latest development in the aftermath of last month's derailment of Norfolk Southern train carrying toxic materials near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. The new Railway Accountability Act, introduced by Democratic Senators John Fetterman, Bob Casey of Pennsylvania, and Sherrod Brown of Ohio, would build on provisions of the bipartisan Railway Safety Act of Brown and his fellow senator from Ohio, Republican J.D. Vance, introduced that measure earlier this month, but has not yet passed. Why not? Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw endorsed parts of the bipartisan bill. Since then, the state of Ohio has sued Norfolk Southern Train Company. The measure would direct the Federal Railroad Administration to study wheel-related failures and derailments, as well as mechanical defects. It would also enact new brake safety measures and improve switchyard safety practices, in addition to ensuring railways provide sufficient reporting and safety equipment to its workers. A preliminary report from the National Transportation Safety Board pointed to an overheated wheel bearing on the Norfolk Southern train that derailed, but did not offer an exact cause. The bill has received support from major labor unions, would also require large freight railroad companies to participate in a confidential reporting system where close calls and unsafe events will be evaluated. The bill, as of Thursday, had no Republican sponsors, though. It could complicate its path through the Republican-controlled House. Some Republican politicians and conservative advocacy groups have argued that more regulations would not prevent derailments and would instead be costly. Representative Sherrod Brown said, quote, rail lobbyists have fought for years to protect their profits at the expense of communities like East Palestine, Steubenville, and Sandusky. These common sense safety measures will finally hold big railroad companies accountable, make our railroads and the towns along them safer, and prevent future tragedies, so no communities have to suffer like East Palestine again. And now here we are yet again with another massive one in Minnesota, spilling ethanol, prompting evacuations. When is enough enough? Also, in the fight on big companies, big train companies, big oil companies, big oil companies literally plaguing the nation here. Um, California Democrats passed Governor Gavin Newsom's proposal that could penalize oil company profits. Remember here that the United Kingdom has already passed, the entire country, the UK, has passed a global windfall tax against oil companies. Well, California just has now two. Oil companies will have to submit vast amounts of data on pricing and supply. Here's what California just passed. The Assembly floor vote came after Governor Gavin Newsom administration introduced amendments that appease lawmakers who expressed concern over unintended consequences of tinkering with a complex market. A proposal by Governor Gavin Newsom aimed at preventing gas price spikes in California passed Monday in the Assembly, closing out the bill's whirlwind run through the legislature and all but ensuring it becomes law. The legislation, Senate Bill X1-2, will require oil market participants in the state to submit vast amounts of data to a new division within the California Energy Commission that will decide whether to cap and penalize oil refiners' profits. Newsom is expected to sign the measure Tuesday. It was first proposed as part of a special session he called in December. Initially conceived as a windfall profits tax and then a cap on earnings, the bill evolved into a targeted approach to analyze complex oil industry pricing and enable penalties if the new division determines that penalties would protect consumers. Saying, quote, "My biggest fear was that the penalty would just be passed on to consumers, aka they could just raise their prices." That is a bipartisan concern. This measure, it doesn't require penalties. It doesn't require any maximum profit caps. Instead, it adds transparency to the oil market and requires the Energy Commission to justify any penalty. The bill, which cleared the Senate on Thursday, passed in the Assembly with a 58-19 vote, with the opposition coming from the chamber's 18 Republicans and 1 Assemblywoman. This is an industry that has been allowed to operate in the shadows. It has lacked an accountability, the transparency, and the oversight that we have long required of other critical sectors. Let me know your thoughts on that. The Assembly floor vote came after Newsom's administration introduced amendments that appeased lawmakers who expressed concern over the unintended consequences of tinkering with a complex market. Republicans and oil industry representatives blasted the bill's hasty passage. I mean, it's been a while. It's not like I would say it was hasty. Raised doubts that it would work as intended and expressed concerns for oil workers. The bill that you're rushing through the process adds bodies, bureaucracy at the California Energy Commission, audits, and penalties. I mean, on the other hand, we just let the oil industry keep making billions and billions of dollars on the backs of low and middle income Americans. What it does not do is add supply. It does not expedite port or pipeline infrastructure. I mean, obviously that's a separate issue, right? Governor Gavin Newsom first called for a windfall tax on oil companies last fall after the price of gas in California reached more than $6 per gallon. And he called it, quote, price gouging. Now, the United Kingdom did this. They slapped a, quote, one-off tax on oil companies and gas giants to ease the pain on soaring household energy bills. And the United Kingdom actually redistributes the money that they get from the tax. The way it works here is the new levy will be charged on the profits of oil and gas companies at a rate of 25%, before being phased out of what levels were kind of before, the way they figure it out here. And they said that 8 million of the lowest income households will be sent a one-off cost of living payment of $819. The first payment will be directly to people's bank accounts in July. This was last year. And another payment sent in the fall. And they announced that 8 million pensioner households will receive an extra winter fuel payment of 300. That's in their currency. I think it's British pounds. And a one-off disability cost of payments for another 150. And then there's another $200 loan for energy bills. Now no longer needs to be paid back, and another $400 as well. So you can see here they kind of redistribute this because their gas costs are too high. They're higher than they are here in the US. And they tax these oil companies because they're just charging them too much money. Now we know here, if you've been watching my channel or you just know here in general, California has sent out multiple rounds of checks here. You can see here, they sent out one in 2022, one in 2021, and they could use this money from the oil companies to send out another check in 2023. So again, other states could do this as well, or they could do this on a national level. The United Kingdom is doing this. So there's no reason that they can't do this again. California is starting to set this up here. Again, California is the largest state population-wise. Or the other thing is just let the oil companies gouge us just for fun and let them get away with it forever. So, I mean, you let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And I know I'm going to get a few comments here of, oh, but we got to increase oil supply. We got to increase oil supply. So I'll show that here. Here is the oil supply. It's actually increased since the day Biden took office. Here's the day Biden took office. We were producing 10,900 barrels per day. And we're actually producing more barrels per day since he took office. And again, I'm not from either side. I'm just giving you guys the data. We're not quite back to the peak where we were before the pandemic, which was 13,000. But we're producing more than the day Trump left office. Because again, it went down when the pandemic hit and it dropped dramatically. But the day that Trump left office, his last day in office was about here at the 10,900, 11,000 range, right about here. And since Biden took office, oil production has actually gone up. This is directly from the government, okay? This is from the EIA.gov, U.S. Energy Information Administration. So anybody that says, "Oh, we're stifling the oil industry, the energy, we're not giving them enough," we're actually producing more oil per day, per month than we were when Biden came into office. So if you hear that rhetoric, it's not true. This is directly from the government. We're producing more oil than the day Biden came into office, and you can see month by month we've actually been increasing it here. So that's just the data. It's just the truth. You can see it right here on the screen. I'm all about the truth. Especially when you can see it in data, in numbers. It just doesn't lie. It's just the truth. Now we're not quite back to where we were pre-pandemic, but we will be soon. We will be soon. We're at 12,200 barrels per day. The pre-pandemic level was 13,000. So we're getting close. We're actually getting there. We should be there probably maybe this year. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. And if you appreciate these videos where I just give you the truth, try to give you the truth here from either side, don't forget to hit the like button for us. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here's Russian President Vladimir Putin warning his own people about a nuclear situation, nuclear survival. Or here's the U.S. and our counterattack that we just did. If you haven't seen that, click on that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.